Namaste, welcome. This is going to be a little soul flow on the glow, on the go, as we go on a wee drive. I'm just heading live, and I don't know what's going to be shared, and we'll just see what appears. We're live streaming live on multiple platforms. If you get this live, jump in, comment, say hello. Let us know the sound is working. Oh my god, I should check that. It will not be working. So now the sound should be working, I hope. Trust. Yes. Okay. There's a little soul flow on the glow. We're moving, sharing, shining as we go. No idea what's going to be shared. Just press live and see what appears. Seeing what is alive here. Seeing what wishes to presence itself. There's such a feeling of well-being at the moment. I talked yesterday about in my pranic process experiment how there's this feeling of radiating energy, which I've had like sometimes, but now it feels so much more, where there's no trying to get anything from the word in any way whatsoever. There is still some exchange with the word, but there's a more like a radiating energy. It feels like it's a giving, it's an abundant energy. It's like overflowing energy. It feels like the energy is expanding, exuding. There's not this energy of take, this energy of need, the energy of want, of desire. There's just a surrender and acceptance, and the feeling that there is an energy that is radiating outwards, blessing the environment and being blessed simultaneously by the environment. There's no egoic thing in this, like giving to the world as some individual. There's just a radiating energy and a feeling of givingness, abundance, expansion, openness that is a blessing. And the only kind of response, or the only kind of feeling that seems to match that is gratitude. Just being grateful for and as life. Being grateful for and as everything in the life. Even the things that the little me doesn't want. Even the moments where the little me seems to take the front seat instead of being in the back seat. And so this radiating energy feels like just pure life. It feels like the pure life of life itself radiating outwards. And again, I've had this in moments, maybe when I'm doing breath work, when I'm really in my passion and my work, but those moments where, you know, you're in a process, you're giving, and I mean giving breath, of course, doing breath work, but actually facilitating breath work, like the energy just radiates. Because I'm on my passion, I'm on my flow. But this is like happening, again, of course it's not always constant no matter what, but now it's much more a constant flow of energy that is flowing from me into and through and as the world, rather than this idea before, I need something, I want something, something needs to change. I need to get something from a relationship. I need to get something from food or drink or the word or whatever it happens to be, anything at all, any sort of need or desire. It feels like it's met from within and radiated outwards. It's expressed outwards rather than a taking, rather than a needing to be seen, a needing to be connected with, a needing to be validated. There's the needs are falling away. And I explained yesterday my experience of this is that This is the energy, the flow of life that is animating every single thing in all of creation. And it is in its fullness, giving completely, fully, wholly, and totally to everyone and everything all of the time, no matter what. Yet we as humans, and I experienced in the long period of this lifetime, have the ability to take this all-giving, all-knowing, all-providing source of pure, perfected love energy and invert it in a way that we feel like we are missing something, that we need something, that we want something, that we desire something, that something is missing, something is lacking. We're able to do that as the human. So the human body, as it's currently seen, which is a fraction of what, just the human body, the way we see it, is like a fraction of what this human body is. We see, feel, and experience such a limited version of our physical body. It's laughable. It's literally insane. But in the way that we see it, it's we can see it as it's a method of separating ourselves. We could use it in a positive light. It's a method of differentiating ourselves, maybe rather than separating. Yeah, differentiating ourselves is a better way of looking at it. So rather than the hand is one hand, and the fingers are part of the hand, but the fingers differentiate themselves by this shape and movement and size and color and texture and whatever. Separation is you cut this one off. So yeah, differentiation. So if we look at the body as the ability for, if the hand is all that there is, a finger is the way that all that is able to differentiate itself while not being separate from itself. But of course, it's much easier to see that because we can literally see the hand and the fingers connected. But what happens in our delusion and when we forget is that we don't see that our body being is connected to the infinite source of all being, of all life, all of the time, even when we're appearing in this body, appearing to jump off the earth, where we feel like we can go up in a tower building, we can feel like we're separated from the earth, even though there's foundations goes down into the earth. We can fly in an airplane. We are always connected to this source. It's not dependent on physical conditions. And this never-ending, all-providing, all-giving, all-knowing source of being cannot be disconnected. Because nothing exists outside of it, it cannot be disconnected. But one of its differentiated parts or individuated parts can dream itself to be separate from the whole. And that's the gift and the challenge of the human, or of most physical reality. When physical reality in this dimension comes with the agreed upon amnesia that you agree to enter form, and for the vast majority, it's changing now as the new generations come. You come and you completely forget who you are. You completely forget what you are. You completely forget that you are connected through and as your source. You are your source. And as we begin to remember more and more, the energy doesn't increase. Energy doesn't increase. Energy doesn't decrease. It doesn't increase. It can't be created or destroyed. It is what is. It is what it is. It is what it is. It always is what it is. But our experience, oh my God, that's hilarious. A van just passed with the name on it, Skynet. And anyone that was growing up around the 80s, 90s will remember that Skynet was the name of the artificial intelligence in the documentary that came out in around the 90s, I think, 80s or 90s. It was a documentary called Terminator. The company was called Skynet. So that's a hilarious little one. As I speak to a little plastic box on this Skynet mainframe, and my window washers screech because it doesn't rain here so much. So, okay, that'll do. We hear you. So So that Skynet completely threw you off. This never-ending, infinite, and that's what it's designed to do. AI, the inversion of I am, is to look at outside for your intelligence, for your creativity. Look to something for convenience instead of creativity. Look to something that will do something for you instead of being what you are. That's what the distraction and the distortion of AI, the inverted I am, is about. So, we shall not be distracted, we shall continue as we are. This never-ending source of pure love, pure energy, pure source being is feeding everyone all of the time in every way and every level. Humans have the ability to mask that from themselves by dreaming that they are a separate entity, a separate being, separate from its source, that in some way needs something. And the vehicle of this divine body is the thing that is used to differentiate and individualize. And because it seems separate, because it allows there to be a difference in Martin's body and these people driving these cars' bodies, so that we can see, that we can name, that we can, so that we can interact, so that we can co-create, collaborate, come together in union, communion, in communities as individuated parts of the one unindividuated whole. The body can sometimes be, and this is where Eastern philosophy takes a very radical stance on that. And then when the radical stance becomes, dismissal of the body. So in Eastern philosophies, you are not the body, I'm not the body doesn't mean anything. In one way, it is true, but it's taken to an extreme where then the body, which is a divine vessel, divine vehicle, is not always taken care of. You'll see some of these gurus and whatever, and they have sicknesses in their body, and that's fine. It's not saying, but and their bodies, they're not. Some of them, not all of them, but they have sicknesses in their body, and their bodies are, in some cases, obese or not mobile, or in the most extreme cases, they need people to take care of them, and then they share their things. We are moving into this age, if you so choose, and if you match this timeline, and if you hear these words, that would be the case, where the divine vessel, body, vehicle is seen, yes, that we are not, it is not who we are, and it is a divine holy vessel. It is a divine gift, not something to be dismissed, not something to be ignored. It's a temple to be worshipped at and worshipped as. It's the way that God appears in the world. It's the way that divinity expresses itself in an individuated form. What a gift this body is, what a gift this life is. So as we move into this new age, this new timeline, this new possibility, if we are denying any part of the reality, and I mean when we talk in absolute, when we talk from the non-dual knowing, everything it's not denied, it's just seen for what it is. But when we're living in the relative reality, which is what we all are, is when we pick the pieces as good and try and deny the pieces are bad. From the non-dual, everything is seen as a dream of the creator, everything is accepted, and you live as the knowing that I am the knower of this experience, that I am a knower that doesn't have an identity. I'm not an individual entity that knows what is known. There is just a knowingness, an awareness, a beingness, and all else is an appearance. But from this relative reality, while in this body, in this grounded experience, if we deny certain aspects of humanity, deny that this body is a sacred temple, and we feed it with toxic foods and toxic water and toxic thoughts and toxic emotions. And in one extreme, we deny it completely and say it doesn't matter. And the other extreme, the ego, body, mind is the king, is the queen, is the boss, is the one that rules. So there's only body consciousness. There's only the body mind, and the body mind leads everything. we're coming into this possibility and potentiality where we need not drop this physical body to expand our awareness to ever greater levels of potential, ever greater vistas of experience that consciousness has, which is unlimited. But we've been in this space of we need to ascend from this physical reality into another reality by leaving this body, by transcending or overcoming the 3D reality, when all it is a perspective. When we shift our perspective into the dimension of reality that we so choose, that we are already focused at, we're just not paying attention to. So ascension is an ascension of awareness. It's not a going somewhere, it's not for some special ones. Everyone is always fully descended, fully ascended, and neither. And the special ones want to make it special. The special ones want to make it a little bit for a little club, for the special club. And some of those special ones, they want to think that there's the good club, and then the elite, the ones who they give energy of light to, the elite, they're the bad ones, and they're the bad club. So you need to come to the good club and ascend with us, and don't go to the bad club, the elite, who are taking you, they're going to go into bunkers and you're going to be all slaves. Well, everyone is a slave to the mind if they believe that they are separate from their source, and they're a slave to the ego and the spiritual ego if they believe there's something better, there's something more that you are not already. You're already a slave to separation. When oneness is embodied and experienced, there cannot be no slavery, there cannot be slaves or slave drivers, there cannot be a separation. There can be an observation of roles being played out, there can be, and there is, the dream of everything that appears, and all its nuances, and all its challenges, and all its woes, and all its joys. Yet, looked from the place of separation, that is what we call hell on earth, or hell on wherever you are. Looked from as that which sees, it's heaven upon the earth. Heaven is now here. Heaven is nowhere. Heaven is now here. We are all already there. It's already done. We're already home. I've received a song recently. So for the first time ever, I'm writing a song. Well, I'm not writing it. I've received a song, and I'm learning to play a ukulele. And one day I'll probably play it. One of the lines is, "We are all already home. We are all one." And so it's already done. It's already so. It's already here. It's already complete. And remember the paradox. Not this or, this and. We get to play out every role, every story, every flow, every rise, every fall. We get to play out who we believe ourselves to be, who we believe others to be. And in the past week, I've had some people very adamant that they know who I am. Who I am to them, who I am in the grand story of things. And they're very adamant in telling me that and letting me know, and I'm grateful for them, and I love them. But if you spend your time telling other people who they are and what they're here for, you've kind of lost yourself, in my humble observation. Let everyone be whatever it is they wish to be. You be who you are. This is my choice. And whatever anyone else does and whatever anyone else brings to me, I love you and thank you. And I will continue to be who I am. And so as we are remembering who we are more fully, less and less any conversation will be about others in any kind, even our ascended ones, even our non-physical ones, the aspects of ourselves that have remembered more and who are assisting us to remember who we are, not to bow down and worship them, but to bow down and worship the temple of self. This is the true self, the all self, the self that contains all, that has no outside or inside. So the invitation to this one, and to you who may hear these words, is to notice that there's a new level of potential available to all of us. And if you allow yourself to let go of the baggage, the backpack of the past, let go of the ideas that have kept you in certain possibilities and realms, and in some cases you may need to let go of groups and communities and ideas that you've bought into and storylines that have played out, and let them go with love, let them go with compassion, and let them go, importantly, with gratitude. Be grateful for everyone and everything that has passed your journey. And I want to just say again, I want to thank every single being that I've met and not met that has impacted and shared in any way, no matter how it is judged or no matter the story that is told. I want to thank everyone and everything that has been part of this journey of becoming and remembering for this one. And yeah, it's just gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for all who have played all the roles in all the ways. To see now what was possible before, what was impossible before, is possible. I'm possible. Impossible. I'm possible. And that to move into these new, let's just say new, nothing is new under the sun, but let's just use it in relative terms. You'll see the conversation always is in paradox. And that's why some of the things that are going to be shared here are always going to have some paradox. And if you cannot be open to paradox, this and that, you're always, and the little spiritual ego and the little mind and the little identity with the story is always going to want to pick holes in paradox. And by the very nature, paradox is paradoxical. It cannot take sides. It's all encompassing. It takes all polarities and allows them to be what they are. The mind wants to, the ego mind, the spiritual ego wants to classify, pick apart, do this, do that. So the invitation for this one and for you is to see what you're holding on to that's weighing you down. What have you got in your backpack that it's time to let go with gratitude and love and thanks? And what is it is calling you? Where are you being called to in consciousness? And where are you being called to through your body, through new potentials, through new ideas, through new communions, community connection. And just be open to that. This is a message for this one and for anyone who ever hears these words. We'll leave it there. That you are. Thank you, life. Thank you, God. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, Goddess. Thank you, life itself. And until next time, from my heart to yours, the divine in me sees, loves, and honors the divine in you.